Imagine this scenario. You're chatting with a woman you're interested in, and she mentions that she loves hiking. Now, if you immediately jump in and say, "Oh my gosh, me too. I hike all the time," that's qualifying yourself. See, the problem with this approach is that it can come across as needy or desperate. It's like you're trying too hard to win her approval, and that can signal lower social value. When you stop trying so hard to impress her, you actually come across as more confident and self-assured. This shift in the power dynamic makes you more desirable because it shows that you're not afraid to be yourself. So what's the solution? It's all about maintaining your own identity and confidence without feeling the need to constantly validate yourself. Instead of immediately agreeing with everything she says, try expressing your own opinions and interests authentically. Let's go back to the hiking example. Instead of jumping in with a matching response, you could say something like, "Hiking sounds like a great way to connect with nature. Personally, I enjoy rock climbing, but I'd love to hear more about your favorite trails." By staying true to yourself and confidently sharing your own experiences, you're showing that you have value to bring to the conversation. You're not just seeking validation from her, you're offering something of substance. Show interest in her experiences without immediately trying to match them. Ask her why she enjoys hiking or what her favorite trail is. This not only keeps the conversation flowing, but also shows that you value her opinions and interests. When the conversation turns to your interests, don't downplay them. Share what you love with enthusiasm. This way, you're showing her that you have your own passions and that you're not just trying to mirror hers. So remember, guys, while it's important to show interest in the other person, don't lose sight of who you are in the process. Avoid qualifying yourself and instead focus on being authentic, confident, and true to yourself. That's the key to making a genuine connection. Another point to keep in mind is if you're constantly trying to prove yourself to her, it can undermine your confidence and make you appear less desirable. Plus, it puts the other person in a position of power, which isn't exactly the best way to build attraction. Now you are asking why constantly trying to prove yourself to women can actually put them in a position of power. Let's break it down. You see, when you're always trying to prove yourself to her, whether it's by showcasing your accomplishments, talents, or even just agreeing with everything she says, you're inadvertently giving her the upper hand. Think about it like this. If you're constantly seeking validation from her, you're essentially placing her on a pedestal. And when someone feels like they have all the power in a relationship, it can actually diminish your own confidence and make you appear less desirable. Let's say you're on a date with a woman, and you find yourself overcompensating by bragging about your job, your car, or even your hobbies. Sure, you might think you're impressing her, but in reality, you're giving her the impression that you're trying too hard and seeking her approval. And here's the kicker. When you put the other person in a position of power, it's actually counterproductive to building attraction. Because attraction thrives on a balance of power and mutual respect, not on one person constantly seeking validation from the other. So it's all about maintaining your own sense of confidence and self-worth without feeling the need to constantly prove yourself to her. Instead of trying to impress her with your accomplishments, focus on building a genuine connection by being authentic and showing interest in her as a person. Ask her about her passions, her dreams, and her experiences. It shows that you value her for more than just her approval. Remember, while it's natural to want to impress the women you're interested in, constantly trying to prove yourself can actually backfire. By staying true to yourself and maintaining your own sense of confidence, you'll not only feel better about yourself, but you'll also attract women who appreciate you for who you are. And you can maintain your sense of confidence by getting her to qualify herself to you. This subtle shift in dynamics can have a huge impact on the interaction. Let's break it down with some examples. Say you're chatting with her, and she mentioned her love for traveling. Instead of just agreeing and sharing your own travel stories, try throwing out a subtle qualifier like, "I've always found that people who are well-traveled tend to have a unique perspective on life. What's been your most memorable travel experience?" By doing this, you're not only showing genuine interest in the other person's experiences, but also subtly encouraging her to invest in the conversation. It's like giving her a chance to prove herself to you, which can naturally increase your social value. And that brings us to our next point. How does getting the woman to qualify herself make her chase you? Well, it shifts the power dynamic in your favor, making you appear more desirable. Plus, it creates a sense of reciprocity in the conversation, where both parties are equally invested. So try asking open-ended questions that invite her to share more about herself or her interests. Show interest in her experiences and opinions, and let her know that you value what she has to say. As she starts opening up and sharing more about herself, she's not just talking to you. She's investing in the conversation. And when someone feels invested, they naturally want to keep the interaction going, leading to that powerful sense of attraction and desire. So how can you put this into practice? It's simple. Next time you're talking to a woman, resist the urge to brag about yourself or constantly steer the conversation back to you. Instead, focus on her. Ask her about her passions, her goals, her dreams, and really listen to what she has to say. And when you master the art of qualifying, you'll find that she's not just chasing you. She's falling for you deeply and authentically. Let's say she tells you about a backpacking trip she went on. You could respond with something like, "That sounds amazing. What made you decide to go on that adventure?" This shows you value her experiences and opinions, making her feel important and understood. By showing genuine interest in her stories and encouraging her to talk about herself, you're making her invest in the conversation. The more she invests, the more she'll want to keep the conversation going and spend time with you. Women love a little challenge. It keeps things exciting and makes you stand out from other guys who are constantly trying to impress her. So when you master this technique, you make her more invested in you and more likely to chase you. So the next time you're chatting with a woman, remember these tips and avoid the trap of qualifying yourself. You'll find that the conversation flows more naturally, and you'll come across as more confident and intriguing. In conclusion, when engaging in conversations with someone you're interested in, it's crucial to avoid the pitfall of qualifying yourself. Trying too hard to impress by mirroring their interests or constantly seeking validation can come across as needy and lower your social value. Instead, maintain your own identity and confidence by expressing your genuine interests and opinions. Show authentic interest in her experiences and encourage her to share more about herself. This approach not only keeps the conversation balanced, but also shifts the power dynamic in your favor, making you appear more desirable. By being authentic and confident, you build a genuine connection and attract her naturally, making her more likely to invest in the relationship. Remember, the key is to stay true to yourself, avoid the need to constantly prove your worth, and focus on creating a meaningful and balanced interaction. High-value men maintain their self-worth and integrity when interacting with women. They don't need to play games or lower themselves to win affection. Knowing your own worth is key to attracting genuine love and respect in any relationship. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below with your thoughts or questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.